And then I'm gonna. Yeah, all right.
And when you talk is when I'll.
We should be.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. It's Brandy Miller, internationally certified psychic medium with Noel Manikham, also internationally certified psychic medium. We are here with Psychic Insights Live, and we have a very special guest tonight who is a friend and a colleague of ours. This is Sherry Platt. Welcome, Sherry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about how amazing Sherry is and what she has in her toolbox. And then we're going to get into some questions and answers and maybe open it up to you guys at the end with some of that as well. So Sherry Platt is an internationally certified psychic medium. She has her MA in counseling, specializing in life transitions. She is a career counselor and career voyant, a public speaker, author, and the owner and founder of the Steps Career Academy. So welcome.
Thank you. I sound good when you.
I know, right?
Wow, I'm doing good.
So Sherry, I got a couple questions. And my first question is this, because we're talking to a lot of people in the spiritual world, right? What brought you to the point, or, when did you in life unveil or like really discover your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, your, connection with spirit? And how did you bring this into your world? This is probably a twofold question. And then how did you bring it into become really a part of who you are and how you help people?
So I think, like most of us, I've been psychic all my life. And I think there's an awakening and an ownership that comes with these gifts that we have. In terms of my work, I definitely noticed as I was working with my clients one-on-one that sometimes ancestors would walk in with them. Sometimes I'd get messages ahead of time about what to expect. And a lot of times, I had to dismiss spirit because technically when I'm in a counseling session, it's not appropriate for another presence to be there. My effort, my focus is on the client. So I dismissed it quite a bit. And then later in my profession, I started to embrace it more and eventually went through the psychic training and just sort of I always say I came out twice, 45 as a lesbian and 60 as a psychic.
We all have those closets that we have to come out of at some point,
is.
right?
I mean, it's great. Yeah, Brandy, that's exactly right. It was just another closet, but it helped to do it in a supportive, loving community, which you both are a part of. And so that was real, it was reassuring and empowering at the same time.
And how do you, when you work with clients, right? I guess this is really, when you work with clients, do they come in knowing that you're working with spirit? How do you separate it, or how do you combine it so that they know exactly what they're getting?
Yeah, Noel, I asked myself that question for quite some time, like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And I kind of just let go and ask spirit for guidance on this as well. And so what's basically happened is the Steps Career Academy is increasingly working with larger organizations like associations, corporations for outplacement. And also I think people who don't necessarily want to talk about spirit or don't necessarily, but are still interested in discovering themselves. So it's actually turned out to be helpful to have two different entry points. What I find is that, I can say this here, that ultimately all the work I'm doing is spirit, right? It's just that people who come to me for career counseling may not come to a psychic and may not come to I'm also an interfaith spiritual director. So they may not come to somebody for that purpose, but work is our medicine. And work is our healing. And when people come in pain around their work, it's really just a small picture of other aspects they have going on in their life. So what I do is I offer everybody a free 30-minute conversation. And based on that discovery call, I know which direction to recommend. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's so cool. So, as number one, how did you come up with the term career voyant? Because you are the first that I've ever heard about, and it's so brilliant. It really is, and you really stand alone with it.
Spirit. I mean, I
You're
channel.
like, duh.
I channel, you both channel. It literally just came to me. And then I looked up the word voyant, and it's a seer. It means to see. So I feel like the combination of the two was pretty cool. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah,
But I feel very
absolutely.
much like it was it was inspired, in spirit. It was inspired. It is a great term. I agree with you completely.
So, how would you say that mentors in your journey have helped you, and why you feel it's important, whether you're coming to you or one of us as a client, why it's important to have someone with this type of knowledge, either as a career, in career counseling, or as a career voyant, in that aspect? What have mentors done for you, and how do you see it as your mission moving forward with what you offer to your clients?
I feel like there's 5 questions in there also. So
I always do that. Sorry.
I've had some great mentors. I mean, Lisa Williams has been a great teacher, great mentor. Diet, one of her students, also has been a great teacher. You have been, as has Noel. I've had a good community. I mean, I have to say, it's been really, I don't know if I have words for it, but having a powerful group of psychics who are professional, who are gifted, who have work experience other than just being psychics, has really been inspiring, and has created a beautiful community, which sort of holds the foundation. So I've been really blessed about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been following Lisa like for 25 years. So to then get to work with her and to learn from her was really a gift.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. And I agree with you. It's like
Yeah.
we feel like we're held, we're seen, we're understood. We all have
Yeah.
our own original take on things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we can all help each other grow. Right?
I agree. Yeah, I've been deeply touched. I think that, I think we're all stronger together. And I think and I've learned so much from each person. I think each person has a different gift. And it's just been really very empowering to learn from each other. I think one of the things that I tell people is I think to be a great psychic, you have to learn to trust yourself. Right? I mean, we see really weird stuff. And then we share that
every day.
every day. And then we share that with our clients. And you have to have faith in yourself above all else to learn to listen to yourself. And this is something I really try to teach my clients, is that what I've learned is that people come to me and tell me that they have no idea what they want to do. And that's almost never true.
Mhm.
So by session 2 or 3, either because of the process I use with people, we start to clear away what I call HOTS, habits of thought that block people and block their thinking. And then by session 3, people start to go, well, what I'd really like to do is this, but.
Sure. It's just
Yeah,
very
but.
deep inside, and you're pulling back those layers.
And it's not so different than really teaching people how to learn and listen to themselves. I say that my work is really just me introducing you to you.
That's
And supporting
beautiful.
you through the process. Yeah, because people do know what the answer is. People do know what it is. Sometimes they don't know what to call it, right? But the reason people do, I'm more fascinated in why don't people know what they want to do? Like, that's the question. Why don't you know what you want to do? What has gotten in your way that has so disconnected you from you that you have forgotten who you are? And at the same time, I also believe that each of us comes with a piece of the puzzle. So each of us comes with a gift that we actually have to bring forward in order to heal this planet. And whether it's making ice cream or being a data analyst or a psychic or a garbage collector, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that each of us shows off in our authenticity, and that can be hard.
Mhm.
I can't tell if Brandy
Uh-oh.
Yep.
closing her eyes and taking it in.
Okay. You guys totally
Like,
froze. Was it me that froze? Oh
I
my
was like,
goodness.
did I impact you that much that you're like,
Sherry, your energy, stop it. Okay, while we're kind of in this little moment, I just want to acknowledge our viewers and tell Margaret, Melissa, and Kim hello, and whoever else is watching with us, please pop in the chat. Tell us you're here. We've got Sherry Platt here, who wears many, many hats, and she is so talented and gifted in so many ways. So, Noel, do you have another question for Sherry?
I think, can we go down the plants a little bit?
oh yeah, you can go anywhere you want.
So it's interesting that you talk, right, Sherry, about trusting yourself and us in this. Everybody, excuse me, I have a hoarse voice. But, as a psychic, as a medium, we really need to trust ourselves. And why don't we do a job, or why don't we talk about, why don't we not know what we want to do? And then as a psychic and a medium, we see weird things. And how do we put that out there? And then you and I were in a program where we did plans.
Mhm.
And that was yet a whole nother, right? Do you remember, like, we would see things and we would hear things and we'd be like,
But you really saw and heard things.
right?
I think you went a little further than I did, but yeah.
But it was all about then trusting again and then
Yes.
trusting each other. And we
Yes.
were in such a powerful group where we felt held and we could say these things, and then it became the norm. But then there was something that you really you wanted to work on. And you're like, this is something that I want to do. And it was just a little branch off of something you already do. And that's integration,
Correct. Yes.
right? So when you do plants, afterwards, you'll hear people talk about integrating. And so we gain this knowledge or this information, these epiphanies, and then we need to integrate them in our lives to help us shift and pivot.
Yeah,
And,
it's beautiful.
and then we do transitions in our lives. And that's something you work with, Sherry, right? With
Yeah.
transitions and pivoting and integration. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I think the important thing to know about anybody who's thinking about plant medicine is when you actually take the medicine, that's the event. But the event is not the integration. The event is taking the medicine, having the experience, and then, and in many, many plant medicine journeys, there's a 1-day integration that can last a day, can last a couple of hours, but then we get sent home. And we've had this profound experience, and the plant is still inside of us, doing her work, in our case, grandmother. So, and the work of grandmother is actually working on our neurological system and changing neural pathways. So the work really begins post journey. And this is what I do with clients who have been fired from jobs, who have had sudden job loss, who are making career changes, who have lost somebody. Like, I specialize in career, but my overall conversation is around life transitions. So any natural transition has an ending, and every ending should have a period of incubation before there's a new beginning. So in that incubation period is where integration happens. And we don't like being neutral. Humans want to like have an ending and go to a new beginning and that's it. But it's not really how, and we can do that. But if we make those dramatic endings and jump into a new start without an in-between place, we just keep having the same experience over and over and over again. So with plant medicine is the event. The plant medicine is in your system. And then afterwards, it's okay, how do I integrate these new aspects? I mean, before we started recording, we talked about that prior to plant medicine, I was highly allergic to cats. Post plant medicine, I'm
This
living
just
with
blows
two.
my mind.
I'm living with two and I'm fine. And I've got some weird skin stuff, but I had that before. So I don't think it's the cats. So I can't explain that to you other than I feel really blessed and lucky. And I feel very profoundly, deeply connected to grandmother, ayahuasca. So I think that the integration is where all the work takes place. And it really helps to have somebody who can hold space, who's done plant medicine and who knows about life transition, integration, and how to incorporate these new aspects of yourself into your life without freaking out. Because there can be a big freak out period, you know?
So I will say that I have talked to both of you guys in the integration period right after you guys have both journeyed, and that was kind of a few weekends, and both of you were so fine-tuned in your connection with your higher self in spirit.
That's true.
And grandmother Aya, so clear that it was fascinating to watch.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
It was fascinating to experience it from this side.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah. Me and Sherry are both like, interesting.
I know. Wait. There was one time I was like, Sherry, you okay? You okay?
Well, there were times I wasn't okay. I mean,
No, I know.
I feel like I actually remember the first Monday I got back, I got into the car, I turned it on and I started crying, like uncontrollably weeping. I had to turn off the car and I knew it was happening and I wasn't scared and I knew it was release. So I just let it happen. Then I drove to the next parking lot and started crying again. So it was, it was nothing is easy. So I think that there are people who think that if you do plant medicine, it's going to be this like, it was hard. And the same thing with any transition. Transitions are usually hard, but mostly they're hard because we meet it with resistance.
Sure.
You don't see that that change and transition is a natural evolutionary state of being in that we have to allow it to happen, because if we don't, we get sick or we lose aspects of ourselves that we really need. And so I feel like even though there were times, I like to say that, there's this thing like if you speak your truth, then all will be revealed. But speaking your truth is hard, and speaking your truth has ramifications. So whether you're speaking your truth about being a lesbian and watching your entire community disappear, or whether you're speaking your truth about being a psychic and watch people, including my sons, go, they don't know what to do with that, but that's okay because I'm standing in my truth, but it doesn't mean it's easy. So anyways, I don't know if I answered the question, but it's not easy. It is a transition, but it's like it's healing in the fire.
It's not for the weak.
Oh, no.
I mean, I can speak, the three of us, we are bold. Yes. We are fearless. It doesn't mean fear doesn't creep up, but we push through anyway.
Brandy, man, you've been on your own journey. I'm not going to go into it, but I've been with you the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
You've been through the hell you've been through and back. I mean, girl, that was your journey.
That's what I'm saying. We've all been through it, and we're not necessarily, no, we're not saying that we're better or we have it harder than other people, but it's like, in order for us to do what we came to do, to help people see their own light, to heal in their own way, we go through it over and over, like transition after transition after transition. And it's almost like that darkness trying to keep us down because they know how powerful we truly are. And every time we come up, we're shining so bright. So it's another test of like, you're going to keep going? Huh? You're going to keep going?
Yeah. But we've never done it alone. And I think that's what's really important is through all of these movements and pivots and transitions in our lives, we haven't done it alone. We've had each other through a lot of it. And I think it's powerful. It's a powerful statement to say, if you can have somebody help you transition in life, get somebody to help you transition?
Well, I always say that when I think I've paid people to be nice to me during some of my most difficult transitions, because at least when I pay somebody, they tend to be more objective. And sometimes when we just go through it with our friends or family, people feel like it's okay to share their perspective or to push their perspective or to negate your perspective. And I think there's a lot of power. And, I think that a good psychic, intuitive medium reading can really launch you forward in your own personal growth and development if you're getting it through somebody who is boundaried, who is trained, who knows what they're doing, who has tools and techniques to get past blocks. I always say that. So when I work with clients, I teach them the difference between soft skills and hard skills. And soft skills are what we're born with. And so anything like, Noel is really smart and nice, and Brandy is really talented in terms of like physical agility or whatever, but that's what we're born with. But then learning how to hone it, how to train it, I think that I tell people prior to training, I would say my psychic abilities were soft skills. Post training, I'd say my psychic abilities are hard skills. So it's a gift, and it's something I've worked hard to fine tune, again, to be boundary, to know when I should be talking, when I should not be talking, and really, really, really helping people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to say hi. Colleen Ashton says hi, Noel, and Denise Check says hello. Thank you guys for watching. We have Sherry Platt here. So Sherry, there's a quote on your website that says, "The world of transformation is my playground,"
Yes.
which I love. And do you feel that we can create our own reality, that we can play with it and make it to the experiences that we want? How do we shift, maybe? So that's number one. And then how do we shift if we are going through something, a transition that has just taken us out? How do we go through that and see or project or manifest that life we want, that beauty, while we're feeling this stuff?
Manifestation is a really interesting conversation, especially these days. I feel like there's a little bit of manifestation shaming out there, which is like, well, if you're not manifesting it, what's wrong with you? You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. So I think that recently I heard somebody say that manifestation is really just heightened goal setting, and that also feels right to me. But you asked a couple of different levels of questions there. So I think
I always do that. There's never just like one. I'm gonna like hit them all at once.
Yeah. So let me just say that the natural cycle of transitions is that for everything in our life, everything, there's a beginning, there's a period of fruition when things sort of blossom and come into being, there's an ending, and then there's this in-between place. So to prevent any of that from happening is to literally prevent growth, development, in our human experience. So, but each of those transitions comes with emotions and feelings and challenges. And in the Western culture, we have been told to negate a lot of that, emotions and feelings, right? But all I can say is I think there's this combination of being true to yourself and how you feel, and having a tremendous amount of compassion for yourself. Research shows that 15 seconds of self-compassion changes neural pathways. So, which is really interesting. So when we're going through difficult times, sometimes we're hard on ourselves. I can't believe I put myself in this position. I can't believe this is happening again. What an idiot. How stupid could I be? I'm a loser. I'm a fraud. It goes on and on and on. Those thoughts are what cause suffering. So there's a difference between pain and suffering. Thank you, Buddhism. So pain will come and go. It will eventually leave us. Suffering is our thinking. It's our grasping and holding on to the one outcome we thought was going to happen. So I think it's a combination of being truly present, and by being present, meaning being brave enough to feel what you're feeling and to trust that it will ebb and flow, and to also to be present in our feelings, and to watch our thinking. and how we make things worse for ourselves, either because we're punishing ourselves or because we think we're being punished. And I think that's it. Now, I also think that we live in a time, a grandmother talked to me about this. When I say grandmother, I mean Aya. She said that the collective consciousness right now is in a place where there can be a lot of fear. And there is a lot of concern around scarcity. And what she said to me is be very, very careful of the narrative, the collective narrative. So to keep myself at a higher vibration in terms of manifesting, I listen to manifestation recordings that are positive. There's a great YouTube channel. I mean, Lisa's got good recordings. There's a great YouTube channel called Your Universe. And she has a ton of great, I don't know if you've ever listened to her, but Jessica Connor, I think is her name. And what I do is when I'm rabbit holing it, life sucks, I'm scared. It was the last plan. Okay, in 1 year, if I'm in the same position, I'm selling the house, I'm buying a van, and I'm traveling the country. I've got this backup plan, but that's not really what I want. What I really want is to help. I want to make millions helping millions. That's sort of my goal. But when I feel low, when my vibration, my energetic vibration starts to drop, I pop in one of these recordings and I sit with it for 30 minutes, 22 minutes. And it shifts my consciousness back to where I want it to be. And I think that enables me to maintain a vibration that allows me to reach the goals I need to reach to acquire the manifestation. So it's an interplay between manifesting and getting very clear on my goal, staying at a vibrational level when it doesn't appear right away, right? Like, it's not here. I suck. So it's like having the manifestation goal and maintaining my vibration, even when everyone around me is validating that they too are having a hard time. I work very hard to not be part of that collective consciousness. And I feel like it's my job. My job as a career voyant, my job as a career counselor, my job as a psychic and medium to maintain my own high vibration so I can serve the people I need to serve.
Absolutely. And that looks like boundaries too.
Absolutely.
We've all had to learn that, but I just want it for our viewers. Hi, good evening, Julie. She just popped on. You had mentioned Your Universe and you
Yes.
mentioned Lisa, and we're talking about Lisa Williams. So both of those have really great, what Sherry was saying, is affirmations. If you are stuck in that negative mindset, in that wheel, you're cycling and you need something outside of yourself because you can't do it,
right.
Popping in one of these, putting in on some AirPods and just let it go.
Yep.
It will shift you back into that vibration more often than not.
And we're at a point, where timelines are changing. Our sense of time is changing. Our sense of reality is changing. And it can be scary. And it is disruptive. Our health is being affected. Our sense of time is being disrupted. I mean, all the paradigms we've known are shifting. And so when that happens, it's easy to be scared, and it's understandable. But like I said, I feel like I have a responsibility to myself and to my clients. And so it's my job to maintain my vibration. And that's one of the ways I've done it. I mean, meditation is very positive. I've been a Vipassana meditation for 25 years, but I have to say these really do help.
Yeah, for me as well. Thank you. Noel, you got another question for
I had a coughing attack.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no.
That's all right.
Sorry, Noel.
That's all right. It'll get better one day. I don't have a question off the top. I was
Okay.
so like, sorry.
So,
She was choking.
so everyone who's watching, please send our Noel some healing energy, some prayers, healing energy, so that she gets well, back to being herself as soon as possible.
Yeah.
She has been going through it and still showing up, which is
I know.
And looking good.
amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, and you look
Thanks.
great.
Thanks. I just got a lung thing going on. I mean, but
who needs a lung?
You won't need it in your new body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
So Sherry, I want to talk to you because you are part owner in something called 3 Cups Entertainment.
Yes.
And so I want you to tell, number one, where are you living right now? Where in the world are you?
I am in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for our viewers, oh, awesome. Wait, Sherry first, healing energy, sent prayers, and expedited healing. Thank you, Sherry. So I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, originally from New Orleans. And Noel, where are you from?
I'm in Heartland, Wisconsin.
Yes. So Sherry,
So
Three
Brandy.
Cups Entertainment. I want to hear all about it. What goods are you ladies coming up with? I see you doing moving and shaking in St. Petersburg, and it's very exciting. So what can you tell us about Three Cups Entertainment?
So Three of Cups was started by myself, Donna Kavlada, and Laura Hypnosis. And we knew each other from another organization which folded. And when it did, we decided we would get together and create an entertainment company, events company, designed to raise the vibration of people, focusing on psychic, mediumship, intuitive, work and doing very unique events. So for example, our first one, which we sold out, was Gourmet Ghosts. And this is where we didn't rent, actually, a bed and breakfast had us come in, and we had a beautiful dinner for probably about 13 people. And we introduced people to their own psychic gifts. So it wasn't just us Laura and I doing a platform reading. It was having people practice holding objects and being able to sense the object. It was teaching them a little bit about tarot. The whole idea is getting people more connected to their psychic selves and doing it in a fun and light way. And it's been really fun. And one of the things that we've started that has really done quite well is the Psychic Social Club. And now it goes back to, so once a month, we meet we have a location right now called As Above, So Below, which is a really amazing crystal shop, and they host us, and we have a really good turnout almost every time. And these are people who are psychics and mediums or psychic curious, people who think they might have gifts but aren't sure. And we usually have a small topic, and then we just basically sit around and talk to each other, read each other. It goes back to what I was saying before, that it's so important to have a community of people who see you and feel seen by you. And it's really been wonderful. So we also help like new retail spaces open up by attracting people. So it's designed to be fun, engaging, and uplifting, because we need a lot of that right now.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. It sounds like something I want to be a part of.
You would want to be on it.
I know. I'm like, bed and breakfast, like psychic mingle. What?
We hadn't used the term psychic mingle. I kind of like that, Brandy.
Oh, you're welcome. Just throwing that out there. If you see it pop up on my social media, you know who coined it. But yes, feel free. That would be perfect for you guys. But it sounds like you guys are bringing a great community of people together. You're raising vibration in St. Petersburg. Are you guys doing anything online that are like more of the masses can participate in?
Not yet. We will get there.
Okay.
We will get there. Yeah. The truth is that St. Petersburg, Florida is a very interesting town. It has it's attracting healers, energy workers, intuitives from all over the country. So I moved here from California, but I meet people who come literally from everywhere, and they all feel it when they get here. Then we don't know if it's the mounds, the sacred mounds that are everywhere, if it's the beings surrounded by water. I learned recently that there's crystals in the sand. I think Sarasota, Florida, actually, did you hear about that, Noel?
Yeah, actually Destin is built on a crystal bed.
Right. And so there are certain areas throughout Florida, of all places. And so St. Pete's one, Sarasota's one, and then you've got Destin also. Yeah. So I think it's attracting just a fascinating group of people, and this town is exploding. I mean, I hope it doesn't explode too much, but growth, development. So it's nice to actually have something local, because we're so used to online and being scattered, that having local communities. And again, this is something that grandmother encouraged me to do, because one of the things that came up when we were doing the plant medicine is that to have this group of powerful women who are also psychics and doing plant medicine was an extraordinary experience. So grandmother encouraged me to replicate it on a community basis.
And I love that you just took that and you're doing it. It's not like you hemmed and hawed. You're like, okay, this is, I'm trusting this download of information, I'm integrating, and now I'm doing it. So Lindsay's here. She's like, this is so awesome. She is sharing it with a friend in Sarasota.
Oh, perfect. We have people
yeah.
from Sarasota. Yeah.
And then Julie said Noel's great grandparents lived in St. Pete. Noel, did you know that?
Did you know that, Noel?
Did you know that?
I knew they lived in Florida. I guess I didn't know it was St. Pete.
That's really
Oh,
cool. Thanks,
Sherry.
Julie, for that little nugget.
Isn't that great? And also, I want to say that there's a magic that happens between the three of us, between Donica and Laura, and it's really it's almost like it's meant, and we get a phenomenal response for. We do our social media, and it just launches. It's just really, really interesting. So I think it's the power of three. And the reason we call ourselves Three of Cups Entertainment is because Laura, who is a tarot card reader, that's the card she pulled during our first meeting together.
Stop. Oh my goodness. And it's the girls celebrating together. It's like such a great card of like fruition and celebration and journeying together. So Sherry first said, I'm not far from Destin. Margaret Ritter says, my sister lives in St. Pete. And Lindsay says, I was 3 for 5 years in Sarasota. I was 3 for 5 years in Sarasota. I don't understand that, but you were 5 years in Sarasota. There's a really cool place called the Crystal Cave downtown.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've driven by it. And actually, I think Diane goes there also. It's another one of our sisters in the psychic world. Yeah.
We gotta get her on here. We're getting everybody on here.
Yeah.
On here.
Yeah, I've been there, and yeah, it's been good. Does anybody in your audience have a question about career and career voyant and anything?
Yes. So for those who have been with us, for those who have just joined, this is Sherry Platt. She is asking, so she is a career counselor. She's got an MA in counseling, and she is also a career voyant. She is a certified psychic medium. She wears other hats as well, but she's opening up to you guys if you have any career questions right now.
Yeah.
So just let us know.
Yeah, unless they're all perfectly content psychics.
They're gonna come. Give it a second.
Yeah. I also want to say that I think also what informs my work is that I was a recruiter for 25 years also. So I feel like that's an important piece because it's not just career counseling and career coaching. A lot of career counselors don't have real world experience in terms of work. And so they get their master's and then just start career counseling, but they may not have any work experience. And I feel like the recruiting gave me great insight into what employers look for and
absolutely
a resume should look and all that good stuff. And I even have a take on resumes. I love to play with words. So resume is resuming a love for oneself.
Oh.
Like think it like resume without the accent is resume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like teaching people to love themselves through a resume. That's why I have a free seminar on my Steps Career Academy website. People can take a free resume love seminar.
That's beautiful. Can you, what site is that on? Can you give us the site?
It's the stepscareeracademy.com.
Awesome.
And there's a free resume love video there. And then what's the first 4 letters in career?
Care.
Exactly. So careers are how we care for ourselves and others. See, it's a different perspective of work.
Sherry, you are so interesting the way, like your take on things, and then your diversity and your depth of knowledge across so many different platforms or bases, or I mean, you've got an immense amount of knowledge in interfaith and in career and then in the psychic world. And I mean, it just keeps going and going. And now, you're doing more and more speaking and you're going, across the country on speaking engagements, and like, you just don't stop. And, so I think people would be so lucky to have a session with you based on like everything you have and everything you bring to the table.
You're very kind. Thank you. And again, if anybody wants to, I have two websites, the Steps Career Academy and also sherryplatt.com. And it's SHERRYPLATT.com. If you go to sherryplatt.com, there's a way that you can sign up for a free 30-minute session. But you can also go to my Instagram page, which is sherryplatt.transitions. And there's a link tree in there. And same thing with TikTok.
Yeah, you guys go follow Sherry. She's got some really great offerings right now. We do have some questions.
Yay.
Hi, Landa. Hey, Nancy. Okay, so Margaret Ritter says, I'm getting my toe readings business going.
Wait. What did she say?
My friend Margaret, she does toe readings and is so on point. It's amazing.
No, toe.
Yes, you have got to get your toes read by her.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is getting stopped by social media. So do you have anything, any career advice for Margaret?
She's getting stopped by social media?
I think it's a block, is what it seems like.
I don't know how to answer that. So why are they blocking her on social media? Because she reads toes and they're interpreting that in a certain way?
What I'm interpreting, Margaret, let us know. What I'm interpreting it as is she herself is having a mental block, putting herself on social, not that they are blocking her.
Okay.
Margaret, let us know if that's accurate. So it's going to take a second.
Okay.
I had that question for Sherry one time.
Which was what?
I was like, social media.
Oh, I remember. That's right. You and I talked about it. Yeah.
Now look at you. So she says, I'm not good at using social media.
So I had a great teacher, which has been really good. I have a social media coach. So if anybody's interested in getting the name of that, I'm happy to share it.
We would love that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if, yeah. So anyways, I can give that now, or you can reach out to me and I'll share her name, but that helped. She helped a lot, but I think it's a mindset. So when you get caught up in your ego, and I don't mean to say that offensively, but our ego is usually our smallest self, right? And so when we let our ego run the show, then we say things to ourselves like, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't speak well enough, I am not smart enough to do that, etc. But when you put what you're in service of in front of you. So Margaret, what is your goal? What are you in service of when you do toe readings? Is she answering?
We just got to give her a second.
Okay.
So Landa wanted to know if we were live. Said yes. We've got another question.
Well, let me just finish this up. So
yeah,
what I want to say though is that if she has what she's in service of in front of her, then it becomes not about her, but about her work. So the bigger picture, the most important thing is that she reaches out to help people. That's the most important thing. So you have to put your ego aside. It helps to have a coach, somebody who can support you in this, who can teach you what to say, how to say it, that it does give confidence. But it's the same thing when people come to me and say, oh, I don't like to brag during interviews. So it's not bragging. It's expressing what you bring to the table. So you say that I'm talented in a lot of different ways. Yes and no. I'm very, very good at what I do. Right. But honestly, if it's going to be mediumship readings, Brandy, I refer to you and Noel. Ancestors come in during my readings, but it's not my forte. Psychic is. So I'm very clear on what I do, and I'm very clear on what I don't do. But what I do is I want to help people heal around work. 85 million people around the world hate their jobs. So do you know what that does to the planet? 85 million people are unhappy 8 to 12 hours a day. So I'm very clear that my purpose is to get my information out as much as possible. And that takes priority over my ego.
Yeah.
So we have to look at our neural pathways, our thinking, our belief systems, and work to heal them. And hire a good social media coach.
Yeah. So Margaret said, in service of my clients in spirit, Margaret, you would probably do really well of doing this 30-minute call with Sherry and seeing where to go from there, because I feel like you two connecting, it feels right to me, since I know both of you guys. Landa, I'm not sure what's going on. You may need to call a friend, call authority. I feel like I'm very close to the other side. I don't know what's going on. He wants us to read him. We are doing career readings. And if you're feeling that way, please call the police, Landa.
Yeah.
We're not able to do anything from this live for you. Call the police, call a friend, get some help, bud.
Yeah, that's going to be the safest thing
Yeah.
to do, is to call somebody that's near to you and local that can help you. Or, you know, I'm looking for the post.
Okay. Noel, you just cut me off when
Sorry.
it's time.
Oh. No.
Give us 1 second, guys. So Lindsay says, I'm a member of Sherry's career program and I'm very excited to work this. So excited, especially for the resume session. And she says, okay, well,
I'll just tell you, I know Lindsay. I'm just gonna throw her out there a little bit, because I work with Lindsay, and so I'm excited because she is currently in a position of transition.
and she wants to know what direction to go during this transition time. She's a psychic medium and aspiring forensics investigator, but she's not sure which way to go. I would love a little guidance. I put my 2 weeks in at the dental office. I was a patient care coordinator. Miss Noel, tell them.
And it was a heavy, like Sherry, like you were saying, like she loved her job, but the energy and the vibe of the office was not good. And there was a situation where she was like, I can't do it anymore. And I said, what are you feeling called to do? And she's like, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks.
It's very brave of you. I do like people to have what I call an exit strategy.
Mhm.
I think people feel a little bit safer when there's a plan in place. Even if the plan is to leave, do the career counseling, get the resume together, etc. But I think that if we have sort of a plan in place, it usually makes things easier and it makes it a much smarter move. I want to say that one of the things that I've really enjoyed doing working with psychics is that when I ask people why they do what they do, most of the time, especially women, say, I just want to help people. Right. So when I don't want you to say that, that's like, that's already a given. It is what is the unique Lindsay that she's bringing to this? What is her unique thing? What is her unique skill? What is her unique gift? And this is actually something that even psychics are challenged by, is that not being able to articulate how they're different, what they're doing, how I'm different from Brandy, how Brandy's different from Noel. And it's not even in terms of technique or tool. It's just that each of us has a unique essence inside of them that is supposed to present what they do in a unique way so that everybody gets what they need. And that is something that's been really fun and powerful to work with psychics on this. On how are they unique in their psychic gifts beyond just wanting to help people. So
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, does anyone else have any questions? And while we're waiting, let's see. Okay. Sherry, can you share a moment where you truly had to step out? And I feel like there's probably more than one, but step out of your comfort zone and how this contributed to your personal and professional growth.
I'm sorry. I always step out of my comfort zone.
Okay, so please explain, because then that has attributed to your success. It's not comfortable.
Mm-mm.
Can
No,
you?
I mean, I think I've spent my entire life that way, whether it was leaving my first marriage, whether it was having a child born with a heart defect, whether it was coming out as a lesbian, coming out as a psychic. I mean, there's so many different examples of it. I think the hardest, or one of the hardest, was definitely coming out in my 40s as a lesbian, because I was married and had 2 small children, and you were supposed to stay put, and it just got to a point where I couldn't live inauthentically anymore, and I wasn't with a person that could hold that space. So there was a lot of, he was very anxious to blame it on me being gay, but the truth was it just wasn't a good marriage. So I think having the ability to acknowledge when something isn't working. And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time fooling themselves because they're so terrified of change, and trusting that I was being held. I think that was probably one of the biggest, but I also think my entire life has been that way. So, which probably makes me a very good transitions counselor.
Right?
I'm always transitioning. I think another is allowing yourself to truly, deeply love another human being without expectation, without a plan. Just allowing yourself to be completely open-hearted is probably one of the biggest risks, one of the biggest, most vulnerable things a person can do. And it's certainly one of the most challenging. So I would definitely say, that was a big one too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I had this image in my mind of like Alice in Wonderland, like opening a door just to be like inside of another, and then opening up another door, and then towards the end you're talking about your heart, you're out in the elements, and there's like this big mushroom guy, and like you're enjoying
Yeah,
life
sort of like that. Yeah.
adventuring,
I actually had an energy healer during this period of time, during this like heart opening experience. And she actually said to me, I think your heart chakra is open too much. I'm going to try to close it. And I'm like, no, leave it.
yeah,
Don't
it's
try
been
to close
closed
it.
for
Like,
too
you know how long
long.
it took for that chakra to open up?
Right?
Yeah. Leave it alone. Yeah. I think that's the biggest risk. I think that when we learn to love like that, it's brutal. It can be painful, but I wouldn't change it for anything. And I think that kind of heart opening also makes us better psychics, better counselors, better able to hear people. I think the biggest lesson I got in the past year is don't push, let go.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
That has been,
Go with the flow.
yeah, but I think it's more like acknowledging that how often do we push to make something happen, and how often don't push, let go, and then let go of the out. So it's like doing this. It's like, and on top of manifesting and on top of goal setting. So it's not like you're just like going with the flow, but it's like, it's seeing a situation and allowing it to be the situation that it is, and asking questions and being present and showing concern and all that stuff. But it's also like, don't push, just don't push.
It's like doing this, but when you're doing this, you're standing in your power. So
Yeah,
it's power versus force, right?
absolutely. And when
The
we
more-
push, we're pushing ourselves off of balance. Like, it was really interesting to realize that when I'm pushing, I'm not in my power. So
yeah,
that was a pretty profound teaching, and that I'm confident came from grandmother as well. So
I'm sure.
You got a book on
So-
grandmother? Got a book on grandmother, Sherry?
do, and she wants me to write it. It's all channeled, but first I have to do the first thing she's telling me to do. Then we'll get to that thing. So yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think I've even read excerpts from you. It's not, it was definitely, it's definitely not me, it's her. So it was really a gift to receive it. And I can't remember a lot of it. So when I go back, it's like, Yeah.
Yes, I've read,
So
I,
as you're talking about, go ahead,
no,
Noel.
that's okay.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, she's shared some of the passages, we'll call them a passage, that,
Mhm.
she gave to you, and they are very profound,
Yeah.
very in depth, but very, she doesn't talk you in circles.
Oh
It's
God, no.
it's very like straight, and it's like, well, this is like this because of this and this, and it's very eye-opening, very like, it really helps you see it through another lens and coming from another angle, and it's actually beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things I love that she taught me is, I don't know about both of you, but when I get messages from spirit, I always call it downloading. I'm getting downloads, right? So she talked to me about uploads,
Mm.
right? Because what she said is that spirit has that information, but the earth has the organic information. So when your body transitions back into the ground or back into the earth, all of your information goes with it. So the earth contains its own information. And so when I do readings, I incorporate both. I bring in information from the earth as well as information from spirit.
I think that's important. I do the same in my readings as well. And I just, for those, I see Brandy Walton's watching now. Hi, Brandy. For those who have just joined or are still with us, this is Sherry Platt. She is talking about grandmother Aya. Her and Noel have journeyed with ayahuasca and have been profoundly changed by grandmother is what they call her. So when she's talking about channeling a book from grandmother,
Right.
she's getting information downloaded or uploaded. I guess uploaded, right? You're like, let's talked about this. Uploaded. And I feel like the reason that it's also coming through you from grandmother and it's direct because you're no nonsense. You
Mm,
are direct with your clients. You are kind, you empathize, you hold space, but you're not going to BS them. You are very direct and you get them to where they need to be for the best growth possible for them.
it's true.
So, Sherry, what do you have that you want to promote or that's coming up for you?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I try to have a way that anybody at any income level can have access to the information. So if they go to the Steps Career Academy, you'll see that there is a career clarity program online, available 24 hours, 24/7 on your phone or on your computer. And the eight-part process is only $99. And you can take yourself through, and it has templates and exercises and everything. Then there's also a job discovery program, also has, I believe that's 10 videos online, and that will take you through a step-by-step process of going through the job search process, and that's $49. In March 12th, I'm going to start a career clarity and a job discovery group coaching program. That'll go for 8 weeks. And that will be, whoever signs up for that will get the online videos, and we will meet on a weekly basis so I can answer questions and guide people through it. And then, of course, there's always private one-to-one coaching. Career voyant readings are usually 4 sessions. I don't do one-time readings and then stop. So if you do career voyant readings, it's a combination of, Noel, I think we did this together. I have an activation chart that I channeled, and I use a pendulum. And Brandy, I think,
Yeah, we did it.
yeah, that was pretty wild. So the first session is part activation chart, where we look at what you came here to do. And then it's also a reading. And then based on that information, we actually have exercises for you to do that will take you through the rest of the process. There's also the private counseling, which is 8 sessions, which is a much more in-depth, but there's 8 90-minute sessions, and that's private coaching as well. So there's a variety of different ways that people can work with me.
That's
And
so
the
beautiful.
March 12th will be the group coaching, and that'll be $600 for 8 weeks. And again, you get the videos, and then we work on it together in a group.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone go follow Sherry Platt. What is it on Instagram?
It's Sherry Platt, SherryPlatt.transitions on TikTok and Instagram, and I think on Facebook too. And the Steps Career Academy is where all the online work is and all the information. If you're interested in a more broader perspective of what I do, you can go to sherryplatt.com. And you can reach me through Instagram if you want the name and information for my social media. She's actually a marketing communications coach, so it's not just social media, it's email marketing campaigns, etc. I can share her contact information as well. And I guess they can reach out to you too if they want my email. My email address is sherryplatt1111@gmail.com.
I love it. And we can put all of that in.
Thank you. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
we can definitely pop all of that in. And they're just saying thank you. So Noel and I have an event that we want to promote real quick. Do you want me to go for it? Or
Yeah, go for it. I'm
Okay.
I'm holding back a cough.
Yes. So April 25th through 28th, Noel and I have an event with our friend Abby Lynn, who is also an internationally certified psychic medium and healer. It is in Charleston, South Carolina. And we have a few different events going on that Thursday night. We have a big platform event. This is where we bring through spirit. We bring through their characteristics, their memories, messages of hope, forgiveness, love, life, laughter, etc., etc. So Noel and I will be doing that, and Abby is going to be channeling higher dimensions for DNA activations. So the whole audience will walk home with a healing. You can purchase that separately. If you purchase our intensive, which is a 3-day intensive, it includes that night and a meet and greet. Then all day Friday, all day Saturday, we will be teaching you psychic, mediumship, and healing. It doesn't matter if you never want to be a psychic or a medium or a healer. This is more about bringing you to your light, reconnecting you with yourself. You will leave feeling changed. You will leave feeling more connected to your inner child, your higher self, more clarity, your guides. So we will safely walk you through that. We will remove the fear from you. There is a payment plan for that. So included in that is this prize package, which comes with like tarot cards, a pendulum, and some other goodies. Saturday night, these 20 people will go with us to an old abandoned jail in the heart of Charleston, South Carolina. And we're going with Bulldog Tours, and we're taking you through, Abby had mentioned over, I think 14,000 people.
Yeah, I think it was 14,000. Yeah.
In this particular jail, it's been closed for a while, but they're reopening it just in time for us to go. And we're going to teach you how to feel in safely. Again, how to remove that fear and go in with us and see what spirits are there. They're all just looking for the light, okay? So they are not going to harm you, just like most people in the physical are not going to harm you. You do have some crazies, but we're going to teach you how to protect yourself and so forth. It is going to be flippin' fantastic. So then Sunday, we also have an additional, this would be in addition to that intensive. This is open to the public, just like that Thursday is open to the public. Sunday is all about you. So whoever joins us will be getting healing, a collective healing from myself, Noel, and Abby. And it's a 2-hour event where you just come, relax, and receive. And it is going to be very powerful. You will feel uplifted, more peace, and more of a joy for life when you leave this. So you can find everything in my bio, in Noel's bio. You can follow me at Brandy Miller Psychic Medium over on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, Threads, all of the above. You can also go to www.abbylynn.co. So that's abbylynn.co, and you can sign up for parts of it or all of it, but we cannot wait. It is going to be such a beautiful experience for us that we're going to be sharing with you guys. So we really, really cannot wait. Noel, where can they find you?
They can find me at my first and last name, noelmanikham.com. Right here on the Facebook page those are my two main social media focuses. Sherry's working with me to get me going on some more social media platforms. So yes, even, those of us who are doing this, we need Sherry too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all need Sherry in our life.
We do.
Well, I need you guys in mind. So where can people stay for this event? I mean, I know that's probably too detailed, but do you have a special place for people who are coming in?
So we have a WhatsApp group chat so there's 20 individuals. The intensive is open for the 20 individuals.
Okay.
And we have a group chat for them. We have 13 spots left. And we'll be, kind of pairing up if you want to. We do have some different hotels that are kind of right outside Charleston. Charleston is a little pricey, but we do have some other ones. We don't have deals with them, but we have found some that like we're going to be staying at there that are much less than in the heart of Charleston, and they're like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So we will put you with the group so that you guys can talk amongst yourselves and figure out, do you want a roommate? We already have some really fantastic people signed up for it. That's a really great question, Sherry. And we have Sherry first on, and she said, I wish I could go. This sounds exactly what I need. So, well, we do mentoring over Zoom. We all do. And we're going to be doing more, and we're going to be traveling with it. I don't know quite where yet.
St. Pete,
So-
St. Pete, St. Pete, St. Pete, St. Pete.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh
Well,
my goodness.
Three of Cups could help promote it.
Yes.
As we're saying.
Yes, absolutely. So St. Pete down to New Orleans, we got to go over to Australia. We've got a lot of plans coming up, but we'll, I mean, clearly they haven't been hashed out quite yet. So Sherry said Destin,
Yeah.
West Palm. Nancy said West Palm.
Yes, Nancy.
Sherry, I used to go to Destin every summer because I'm from New Orleans. So I know Destin well and love it. So we just want to thank our viewers so much for being here, and thank our friend, Sherry Matz, for your time, for your expertise, for your energy, and for your love. Everyone, please go follow her and really reach out, because no matter where you are in your journey, Sherry is able to help you transition into something that sparks your soul, that is in alignment for you. So we love you.
Well, Brandy, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
You're
And thanks for having me. First of all, it was great to be in both your presence again. And thank you so much for thinking of me and having me on. It's a great show. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sherry, for coming. Maybe I'll come back next week with a voice.
Lots of healing energy for you, Noel.
Oh yes, everyone, please send Noel. Noel, are you willing to receive this energy if they send it to you?
I will receive. Thank you.
Okay, so we're all gonna send Noel some healing energy to her lungs, to her throat, to her heart. Sherry first said, thank you all. Lindsay Rose said, thank you, ladies. This is my favorite part of Tuesdays. So, well, you guys are our favorite part too, because we wouldn't have this without you. All right, y'all have a great night. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday, whatever date that is. Next week.
Thank you. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Oh, did she hang up?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm
let
gonna
me
stop the recording.